Well, hello my friends and welcome to another brand new episode of the East Lake Animal Education Centre. We're in trouble. We're in serious trouble. We're into the negatives now with our profit. So last episode would have been the Highland cattle and the American Standard donkey. And so this episode is going to be the llama and the alpaca. But we need to get this into the green first. So last year we lost 4,777 and 66. So we need to seriously bring this money up. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to shift our armadillos into the habitat that was going to be for the porcupine and the meerkats. The reason why is this has just got better visibility. And I think that's going to improve the sort of rating a little bit. So we'll get our education set up. I don't know if anything else can go with the 9-banded armadillo, can it? It doesn't benefit from sharing the space, but doesn't mean to say it can't share the space though. Prairie dogs are an option, I think, maybe. Prairie dogs would be a pretty good option actually, now that I think about it. Grassland and desert. And then we go for 9-banded armadillo. Grassland and desert. Yeah, let's experiment with that. Let's go for armadillos and prairie dogs, because what we might actually be able to do is if I might have been better off actually putting this here. Let's do that. Can we move it? We can move it. So I'm going to put it here, and then all we're going to do is just whoops. And it requires the habitat, so we'll just get rid of that. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. And they're connected. Yep, that's absolutely fine. And then let's just increase the size of this actually, because we'll be here all day otherwise. It's a bit steep. Oh no, what do I want? Chisel. Let's chisel some of this away. And then hopefully it's not going to look as bad. Do you know what? I don't mind that. We can make that work. It's a bit steep at the back here. But oh well, we can make that work for us. So I will get this habitat furnished, planted for our 2 species, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. So I've just very quickly thrown this habitat together. And yeah, it looks alright. You know, it looks cheap and easy to maintain, which is what we want at the moment. We want something that's very low cost, very easy to sort of keep. And it seems, let's just increase time a little bit. We're sort of hovering around 180. Yeah, we're still losing money, which is not ideal. Our staff wages is what's costing the most. So are there any staff that we can get rid of? 3 vets. 8 keepers. Right, we'll get rid of that educator. And then the caretakers. I'll just get rid of this one. Most of these have quite a high workload, so the vendors aren't really the problem. Okay, let's see what difference that makes. So we're losing more money than we were last year, so we need to do something about that. What we can do about that, I don't know. But this episode, we are going to go ahead and build the llama and the alpaca habitat, and then the episode after that we're going to do the alpine goat walkthrough, and that will be the barnyard finished. From that point our finances should stabilise, because we're not going to be building any new habitats for a while. I'm going to just let the zoo, the education centre, sort of play without building anything, and just let it build up some funds, and then we'll start the new habitats after that. But definitely for the time being we're not looking good. We have actually got some baby fallow deer, there we go, got there eventually. We've got some baby fallow deer. They've arrived a little earlier than anticipated. Oh good lord, we've got a lot of baby fallow deer. They've arrived a little earlier than anticipated, just because that's what they wanted to do. But we'll deal with that. And we have lost a few wallabies due to old age. We won't be replenishing them when they do die out, but we'll be getting wallabies back in the future. Ooh, Zakana. So the injured animal was Zakana. Oh, distressed. Right, okay. So we need to change the glass to... Okay, is it aquatic glass? Oh, we can't... Okay, it's got to be this one then. And we're just going to switch that out. And then the same for this. And we're just going to switch that out. And then the same for this. And we're just going to switch that out. That should now reduce the stress. But we've got an on-the-spot fine for Zakana. I can only assume. There's none of them. Oh, hang on, here we go. So, outsider due to gender ratio. There we go, there's Zakana. And she's injured, so we need to get a vet. Who's our other male? Aloe. So we'll just send Aloe to another collection. So, right. Yeah, we need to be making a lot of money. So I am going to press ahead and build the llama and alpaca habitats. But I don't want us to get to 100,000. I want us to keep sort of above 200,000 as an absolute minimum. And we are below 200,000 at the moment. But I think maybe the llama and the alpaca might sort of bump us up a little bit. I would hope so, anyway. But of course it will cost some money to build those habitats in the first place. Right, so let's get building on the llama and alpaca habitats. Just sort of very quickly, before we actually get into the building of the two habitats. One of our red foxes died, and the other one I decided to send to another zoo. It was unfair to keep her here on her own. So we now don't have any red foxes, which should free up some funds for that. And we're not going to get red foxes again until we do the forested habitats. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you all know that we now no longer have red foxes at the East Lake Animal Education Centre. But at least the Yamila, at least she's gone to another collection now, which is good. She'll have some friends over there. Anyway, back to the habitats. So all I'm doing here is the back fence for the llama habitat. So go ahead and put the planks in and space them out a little bit more evenly, and then adjust the heights just so it doesn't look so copied, even though it is. So it's been ages actually since I've recorded this episode. The voiceover I'm recording now is on the 20th of June. I finished this episode in the beginning of June. So yeah, it's been a fair while actually. I sort of did the llama and alpaca habitats and the goat walkthrough back to back. I did them like in 3 days, I think it was. So yeah, it's been a while, and the goat walkthrough is coming in the next episode. But here, I'm just copying the fence in. We do change the colour, it doesn't stay white, don't worry. I wanted a nice tall fence here to really keep that separation between the barnyard area and the rest of the education centre. So I've expanded this building and we've put a roof on it, and this is going to be the indoor accommodation for the llamas. We have 4 llamas, 4 girls, and we won't be breeding them. We're just going to keep the 4 girls in this habitat. And I really wanted a nice big oak tree in the back of the habitat, a nice sort of shaded corner for the llamas to sort of sit in and get a bit of privacy away from people. And I do end up going with this one, and we go ahead and put it in the back and make sure it just sort of sits nicely against the fence line. Yeah, I like how that looks. So then we go ahead and put the food in and some enrichment. A little bit of food enrichment first, and then we'll do the rest of the enrichment a bit later on. Here's the rest of the enrichment what's gone in, and we're just doing a little bit of terrain painting just to make it look a bit more natural. Some sort of well-worn areas where the llamas would walk most often. And we're going to go ahead and build the alpaca house now. So this went through 2 designs, and I actually cut the redesign out of the episode. So you'll see me building it here as 3 wide. It actually is only 2 wide. So yeah, you can see everything I'm putting in here, I'm putting in 3s. So I go for the side walls, there we go, as 3s. So we've got a 3 metre tall wall, and then it'll be 3 metres at the back. And then at the front we just use these station surrounds to create our little doors for the alpaca. Unfortunately, with this front section gets completely redesigned again because of the hitboxes of the the alpaca. I don't get why the hitboxes in Planet Zoo are so big. Just put some bedding in, and it should jump to. And this is me trying to put the roof in now. I don't like how that looks, so I go ahead and do it anyway. But then the next shot after this, you'll see it'll have gone back to being a 2x whatever I've done it across, and the roof looks a little less steep. No, we're flattening the area first, and then we're going to revert back to being a 2. So just move it into position. I'm going to adjust that fence, and there we go. I've moved it into a 2 now, and it's got a little hard standing on the outside. Yep, quite happy with that placement, so I go ahead and pop that in. Oh no, that's still a 3. Could have swore I made it a 2. And put some trees in. I don't like the back wall being visible, and I don't like the idea of the back wall being completely open. Is this now a 2? I think this is the point where it's now a 2. So I'm making these custom stable doors. I've kept it in just because it took a lot of work to find a design and shimmy it all together. But I have to remove them because there's a closed version, a partly closed version, and an open version. And the alpacas can't use any of them. So I had to remove them, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a shame. But that's the hitboxes in Planet Zoo for you. Yeah, I think I've definitely changed this to a 2 now. Yeah, that's a 2. So it's 2 on the inside, and then the 1 outstanding on the outside. Just because alpacas are quite small. They are breeding, and hopefully we will get some baby alpacas sooner rather than later. But I don't want them breeding too much, of course. We are a bit short on space in this habitat for alpacas. I don't want it to seem too cramped. And here we're just putting a little back fence in, which is going to separate the goat walk-through from the alpacas. Yeah, just copy and paste that in. And just angle it so that it meets the back of the alpaca house. Which may need a name, actually. I was thinking of calling it the alpaca abode, because everything else has got like an alliterative name. The donkey den, the chicken coop, the pig pen, etc. And here I wanted a living roof. So I've put a little border in and put some of them planted panels in, the grass panels actually, not the planted panels. We put the grass panels in, and then we plant it up with some of the wildflowers from the conservation pack, which I adore, the conservation pack. But yeah, I didn't want it to take up the full roof. I did want a bit of roof showing, but I have sort of made it quite a substantial living roof. And just making sure it looks right on both sides. And then go ahead and copy that. Pop it in. Line it up. And build. Yep. I've put the grass panels in. And we just plant it up with some buffalo grass, bit of Yorkshire fog grass, and the wildflowers from the conservation pack. And I think a couple of other plants from the base game as well. Just sort of add a bit of variance to it, really. And yeah, you can see that coming together. So here we have our finished product, the llamas and the alpacas in 2 separate habitats, of course. I could have mixed them if I wanted to, but I didn't. I wanted separate habitats. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow, and that can only be a good thing. And I shall see you all in the next episode of the East Lake Animal Education Centre, where we will be building the final habitat in the barnyard area, and it will be for the alpine goats, and it's a little walkthrough habitat. Until then, my friends, stay safe, stay kind, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye for now.